Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's broadcast. My name remains Paul. Today's date is July the 9th, 2025, and I have not done the broadcast for a while, but I have resumed. And today I want to briefly discuss the current visa information from the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria. As you all know, on July the 8th, 2025, the U.S. mission in Nigeria brought out an information. And that information is important because it's going to affect all holders of non-immigrant visas moving forward. And moving forward means there's no time frame when that situation will change. Now, before now, if you have your non-immigrant visas, you move in and out, or what they call multiple entries into the US. But right now, there is a limitation. And I would want to go straight to that very information that was published on the US Mission in Nigeria website. So I'm going to read it through. It's about 3 minutes, and then I'm going to offer a little explanation. Now, the U.S. mission in Nigeria in Abuja on July the 8th, 2025, released a statement that goes thus. The United States Department of State has announced updates to its reciprocal non-immigrant visa policy, impacting several countries, including Nigeria. Excuse me. Effective immediately, most non-immigrant and non-diplomatic visas issued to citizens of Nigeria will be single entry visas with a 3-month validity period, meaning from July the 8th, all visas issued from July the 8th in Abuja or Lagos for non-immigrant category or non-diplomatic visas will be what? Single entry. In other words, all visiting visas, apart from, say, student visas, because the students are coming to study, all visiting visas will be single entry, meaning you just have the authorization to go in once and you're not going to stay longer than 3 months. And the embassy is trying to say that it's a reciprocal gesture, that is what Americans have been getting from Nigeria. So in which case, it didn't emanate from the US. It was actually what the Nigerian counterpart, what they've been doing, what they've been issuing to Americans. They've been giving Americans just single entry visas to Nigeria and only for 3 months. So America is reciprocating that kind of gesture from Nigeria, which doesn't look too good anyway. So the message goes thus: those US non-immigrant visas issued prior to July 8, 2025 will retain their status and validity. We wish to underscore that, as is standard globally, visa reciprocity is a continuous process and is subject to review and change at any time, such as increasing or decreasing permitted entries and duration of validity. You can view the latest information on visa on the US website. The US visa criteria and standards are designed to protect the integrity of US immigration systems. These standards are based on global technical and security benchmarks. The US mission is working with the government of Nigeria to ensure that Nigeria can meet the criteria. Examples of standard criteria include: 1, secure travel documents. ensuring countries issue secure travel documents with verified traveler identities, visa overstay management, implementing measures to limit overstays by travelers on US visas. And the third one is information sharing, sharing relevant security and or criminal record information to protect public safety. The United States values its long-standing relationship with Nigeria and remains committed to expanding our partnership based on mutual respect, shared security priorities, and economic opportunity, keeping both our countries safe and stronger. We commend the ongoing efforts by the government of Nigeria's immigration and security agencies to meet standards of international best practices. We continue to engage with Nigerian government officials to address the remaining challenges. Nigerian travelers are encouraged to respect and adhere to the terms of their visas and ensure travel documents are authentic, accurate, and up-to-date. The United States remains a committed partner in deepening people-to-people ties with Nigeria via business, educational, and cultural exchanges. We look forward to continued cooperation at all levels with the Nigerian public and government officials to ensure safe and lawful travel between the United States and all countries. So what this means is that from July 8, all holders of non-immigrant visas and non-diplomatic visas will only have one single entry into the US, and they cannot stay longer than 3 months. All right? And so as a result, because it's a reciprocal gesture, because that's also what Nigeria does to the American citizens. So right now, that is the new update. From July the 8th, new visas, non-immigrant visas, will only be single entry, into the US for just a duration of 3 months. It's not going to exceed. And because with the Trump administration new policies, everything is tight now. So it will be advisable for our people to be conscious of that. And the way it works, just like they have done for Nigeria, there are also same situations for all other countries, but each country has its own situation. But for Nigerians, it's now single entry for non-immigrant, non-diplomatic visas with just a duration of 3 months. That is 90 days. So it's going to be a tough one, but it's also necessary that everybody becomes aware what the situation is at the moment. Now, having said that, I would also want to give an update about the student visas. Some time ago, the American government suspended the issuance of student visas because it was trying to update the its systems worldwide that would include the vetting of social media handles, meaning all students wishing to come to the US to study at this time will also have their social media handles verified or looked into, just to be sure that they are proper and do not come to the US for any other ulterior motives. And so it is advised that prospective students from Nigeria and other African countries must be mindful of what they do on the internet. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all other Facebook, all other internet platforms. You must be very careful. Okay, all the internet, social media, all social media platforms. There are popular ones and there are also the ones that are not very popular. So Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and which other one? There's this, so all of them. You must be mindful of what you do on those social media handles, because they are now part and parcel of your visa application processes if you're a student or you're coming to study, or even for non-immigrant visas. It's very important that you're mindful of what you post on the internet, because it's very important, because they will look at all those postings, and then they're going to hold you responsible. Okay, so if you're doing videos that would fetch you some money, either with Facebook, either with YouTube, either with Instagram, then you must be mindful that those videos must be very reasonable, and you must consider the sensitivities and all that. So the US has resumed processing new student and exchange visitor visa applications, that is classifications F and M visas and J visas, after a temporary pause. However, the US State Department has implemented new social media vetting procedures for all applicants. Applicants are now required to make their social media accounts public for review as part of the enhanced screening processes. Here's a more detailed breakdown. Resumption of visa proceedings. The U.S. Department of State, the U.S. State Department lifted the pause on new student visa interviews on June the 18th, 2025, excuse me, allowing international students and exchange visitors to book new appointments. Now, social media vetting. A key change is the requirement for applicants to make their social media profiles public for review. This is part of the State Department's enhanced screening process to identify any potential threats to U.S. national security or public safety. The vetting process will focus on identifying any indications of hostility towards the U.S. its citizens, government, and all other U.S. interests. Now, a key change is the requirement for applicants to make their social media profiles public for review. This is part of the State Department enhanced screening process to identify any potential threats to U.S. national security or public safety. Now, the vetting process will focus on identifying any indications of hostility, to its citizens, culture, government institutions, according to reports. Impact on applicants. The new policy will affect all applicants for the F1 visas, the M visas, those are exchange students, and the J visas, including those applying for student visas, that is the F, then vocational, that is M, and exchange visas, that is J. Now, private accounts. Applicants who keep their social media private may be seen as trying to hide information, according to the report. So all social media handles are very, very necessary at this point. They will be vetted, they will be investigated. So it's important that as you plan to either send in your application for your student visas or even for ordinary visiting visas, you have to be mindful, because on the form they will ask you your social media handle. So you'll be mindful to be careful what you are posting on all social media platforms. You'll be very, very mindful of that, because they're going to check it out. And if it's not as good as it should be, then it becomes a problem. All right? So it is very important that you become aware of that. Also, I want to also mention the current ban. You know, not too long ago, the Trump administration banned some countries. These are the real list now. Now, on June the 8th, some countries were banned from coming into the US on June the 8th, 2025. Now, the countries are 19 in number. So the ban for now, the countries that have been banned include Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, Congo Republic, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. Now, there are 7 other countries that are under partial restriction. So on the whole, there are 19. These are Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. They are partially restricted. Now, but there's also a concern for Nigeria, and we are encouraging the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to make sure that they meet the requirements so that Nigeria is not included in the larger, because there are a larger group that may also be part of the ban before long. Now, on June the 15th, so the Trump administration also brought out a second list. So this second list, they have almost, how many countries? Almost 36 countries that are most likely to be banned. So from that June the 15th, these other countries were given 60 days. Those 60 days, now they are encouraged to now work on their immigration situations to improve their vetting processes and all of that. And so the US government has given them 60 days within which to adjust and improve those challenges they have raised. And so the names of these countries, they have 60 days within which to, improve on those issues. And then this is July, so the US government will take a review sometime in August. So from June the 15th, they're giving them 60 days to adjust. So they'll come back with what their findings on sometime in August, around August the 15th. So these other countries include Angola, Antigua, Barbuda, Benin, Bhutan, Burkina Faso, Cabo Verde, Cambodia, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Democratic Republic of Congo, Djibouti, Dominica, Ethiopia, Egypt, Gabon, the Gambia, Ghana, Kyrgyzstan, Liberia, Malawi, Mauritania, Niger, Nigeria, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, Sao Tome and Principe, Senegal, South Sudan, Syria, Tanzania, Tonga, Tuvalu, Uganda, Vanuatu, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. So the second group I mentioned now. Now the government is reviewing the circumstances, and they've been given 60 days within which to address all of the concerns, which the Trump administration has noticed. So it's important that Nigeria tries to at least fine-tune whatever challenges that they may have observed, and then so that Nigeria won't be placed under that ban, because it wouldn't be good to limit Nigerians from moving around, doing their businesses, and if they need to travel to the US or if they need to come here to study. So it's very important that the president and all other cabinet ministers rises up to the occasion, and that is why they are there. And hopefully they will do the needful, and Nigeria will not be part of the ban. And we are hoping that they know what is required, and they're working very hard to meet up with all of those requirements. It's very important, because from what is going on now with the single entry, some other countries are joining. I heard Canada has also imposed similar measures, and one other country. So it has what we call a ripple effect. Once America has done it, other countries will begin to follow. And so I do believe, and I hope, that the Nigerian government will rise up to that very occasion. Okay? So they have 60 days within which to meet up with all of the requirements so as to prevent the ban. And I have also I will start making because as it is now, the non-immigrant visa channels are becoming very tough. And so, but the immigrant visa status, immigrants visa routes are still okay, especially the EB1 to EB2. EB1 are the employment-based and highly skilled based routes. Okay, so in due course, I would come in with information about those routes. But right now, so I decided to give the update from the US mission in Nigeria about a single entry from July the 8th. So all the new visas going to be issued from July the 8th will be single entry, especially for non-immigrant and non-diplomatic visas, and only for 3 months. So it's very strict now. And also the update on the student visas. Now they have started issuing visas again from June 18th to students, but they now have expanded the screening to include social media handles. So it's important for our people out there and other African countries, and also interested parties from every part of the world, that the social media platforms, wherever you find yourself, on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, you now know that whatever thing you do on those platforms will come in at some point. So it's very important that you got to take care of that and make sure you know what you're putting out there. And again, the visa ban, the countries that have been banned, there are 19, 13 of them with the ban, and 7 on partial, or no, 6, 12 on the ban, and then this other 7 on partial ban. All right, and then the larger number again, that is the review will come up in August, and we're hoping that Nigeria will not be part of it. Nigeria will not be banned. So we're hoping that the government will meet up with the requirements. And so I want to thank you all for listening, and I would also appreciate it if you guys will share, so that all our people will know what's going on. Share, follow, like, and comment. Follow me on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. I have other plans for my page. I'm thinking of bringing in some other things I want to be using the page for. But right now, I will also continue to bring out updates, and I'll be more consistent. I want to thank you all for listening, and until I come your way again, I thank you for listening, and may God bless you all. My name remains Paul. Please share, comment, and like. Thank you, and God bless you. Bye for now.